Hello everybody, this is Bitcoin Geek and it is 14th September and I am broadcasting with my Black Dog friend, and I want to talk a little bit about how far the Bitcoin price may goes down, or is this a floor of the Bitcoin, or whatever it may be. There are a couple of ideas that I came up, so I just wanted to share, so I'm creating the video. So I think all of the participants for the Bitcoin or crypto market, everybody agrees that was a huge week. These 2 weeks has got a huge week. So what we did was right after we came into the September, the Bitcoin hit $5,000 and then stumbled down to 4,000 and couldn't maintain that floor, and they just broke. So what really happened was, as everybody knows, China broadcast a news that they will ban all the ICOs within the country, and they said, well, the thing is, it is pretty difficult to get a very clear picture what really will be banned and what will not be. So there are a lot of information back and forth that made market really get confused. So that really pushed the price down. And however, that level held at $4,000, and they just came back up to the same level where the China's ban ICO's news was released, which is somewhere around 4,600. So which is pretty much the same level where this China bans exchange sort of a news came out. Still, that news wasn't really clear. Will that exchange all the cryptocurrencies, or will that close? What condition, what sort of the type of the pairs, what sort of the regulation comes in? Of course, already Chinese exchange having a little difficulty for increasing the volume because it's under the severe surveillance of the country. So that's why people get confused about it, and they just price went down. However, this double bottom look like price, which is a $4,000 floor, that was pretty strong. However, somehow second bounce didn't bounce back up to 4,600. So people was a little shaky about it, feeling shaky about it. And what really came in was there was a news came out that was September 12th that it's saying that the profit from Bitcoin trading that goes to miscellaneous taxes. So that means like people trading Forex, their taxes is under 20% cap. It's a separate category. However, this Bitcoin goes to miscellaneous, so it goes somewhere around up to 40 to 50% if that maximum. So that's people was a little bit scared about it, and they just suppressed the price down. And finally, we found big news came out, like Jamie Dimon. He said that Bitcoin is a tulip bubble type of the thing. And that news came out somewhere on September 12th, so that really pushed the price down to, that broke the floor. So such news sort of pushed the price down to broke the floor of 4,000. So the question is a Bitcoin really a bubble, or is a Bitcoin something goes to the next stage, or which one is the fact? That's a question that many people think about it, and if there are 100 people, there are 100 answers. So this is just my perspective. However, so if you go to Google Trend, and this is the past 12 months search Bitcoin, and I think this is the Japanese. However, let's just go ahead. All right, so what they're saying is who has got the biggest interest from what country, and this is saying the top is Nigeria, and second is Bolivia, and third is Ghana, and fourth South Africa, fifth Slovenia. So what really means is it's not Korea, it's not Japan, it's not US, it's Nigeria, Bolivia, Ghana. So what this country means is such as like a South Africa, they are struggling from you know, they are precious metal country. They have got a lot of platinum comes out, and however there is a lot of politics going on. So one politics comes in, such as like a ZAR USD crash, or platinum price just, you know, skyrocket, or it's pretty much precious metal driven country, and that sort of the country will usually struggle from developing a country because they have got you know, free money out of ground. So that's South Africa. And Slovenia is the country that usually people refugee from Africa or this country to Europe, they need to go through Slovenia. So people immigration needs to go through Slovenia. However, there was a, you know, shut off the router, etc. That was a biggest news a couple months ago. So what that means, you know, people needed to convert money to Bitcoin, otherwise they cannot cross the border, or like a, you know, they need to somehow bring their wealth to another country. So that's why Slovenia came in. So that's pretty interesting, you know, South Africa, Slovenia, Ghana. So these countries have got a sort of a necessity to, you know, use Bitcoin as to store their value instead of their fiat currency. Otherwise they cannot, you know, move their wealth with them. So if you think about it, that's it's just like a marketing. Like if you think about like you know, needs and wants, there are lots of wants that I want to have a better clothes, I want to have a better car, nice car, bigger house, etc. However, needs is something different. Needs is people needs to survive. You know, people needs to evacuate, people needs to store their wealth, otherwise people cannot go on living. So such needs is you know, the most basic strongest part of the human being. So needs is what we need to focus on, and this, you know, interest shows this country is having interest to Bitcoin because of their necessity, needs. So that it's not a, you know, making a profit or, you know, bigger price, etc. They needed to use Bitcoin. That's what I found from this Google trend. And of course there's a, you know, element of the bubble. I don't deny that. However, and I think if this sort of a news comes out somewhere, you know, Bitcoin price is really skyrocketing, it's not gonna do anything. However, this news came out where people were feeling a little shaky about Bitcoin because, you know, they already hit the ceiling of 5,000, and, you know, people was thinking that it will hold the 4,000 ground. However, that was, you know, inching down to the floor, and the news came out. So people, you know, just do a little panic in. So that's why, you know, 4,000 floor broke, I thought. And probably the thing is, if you go back to the previous history of the, you know, big price drop, that was probably the most recent case is the August 1st, yeah, hard fork. So before the hard fork, there was a huge price drop from this level to this level. So if we just look at what percentage price dropped, was probably reasonable line is somewhere around 30% of the price drop, right? So if we think this will be the case, this, you know, China Bonds ICO, China Bonds Exchange, Japan Tax, miscellaneous, you know, tulip bulbs, etc. If that really combines and do the same impact of the hard fork, price may dip down to this level. So that's a you know, $3,500. And that could happen. It's a support level here. Of course, it's you know, what I call harmonic, geometric pattern is already kicked in. However, it's coming back up, but huge wicks are showing up, so that may goes a little bit down a little bit more. However, that's probably, you know, this area is the place that people, you know, big buyer may comes in to saying this is opportunity to buy Bitcoin. That's what I'm thinking about it. And as I told my previous videos, probably this, you know, privacy coin will comes in. So what really going on right now is, so now is a privacy coin is sort of the people's interest. So Monero is coming in, and Pivx is coming in, and Zcash is still coming in, and Dash is moderately coming in. So these four cryptos, and there are of course other smaller cap cryptos that's focusing on privacies. However, one thing needs to be clear is if you invest to the very small cap of the cryptos, you need to think about the liquidity. Otherwise, you can buy it, but there's no way to sell it, or your sell order will crush the price down. That's gonna happen. So just be aware that thinking about buying a very smaller cap cryptos. So as of now, the Monero is the number one, of course, and probably if Zcash, bring in a new feature or something, which I completely have no idea, they may goes again, and Dash maybe too, and Pivx maybe too. However, probably these four players may have got a little, interest from people. So I think these are worth watching. However, if people needs to buy these currencies, these people needs to, somehow change fiat to cryptos. So that's why they need to go and buy Bitcoin, of course. And so the price somewhere around, 3,900 to 3,500. There may be a chance to bounce back up. So, and this is the middle of the month, and usually middle of the month tends to a little price is lower. So that could be if that could be the case, this area may be a good chance to go long. However, that's just my perspective. So please do your own due diligence and enjoy your crypto trading. Right, that's pretty much it. So I am broadcasting from Tokyo, and that was my friend. I think she's trying to escape. Anyway, right, I hope you guys have got a nice day, and hope you guys have got a great coming weekend. Okay, bye bye.